Live on 5 News and streaming on 5 Plus, this is a weather impact alert.
Well, if you haven't heard yet, a snowstorm is a-coming and it's going to cause us some impacts. Let's dive into the very latest. I'm 5 News Chief Meteorologist Skot Covert working alongside forecaster Joshua Weisel this evening. Let's take a look at the timeline of when we expect this snow showers to begin moving into the area. It's going to be different depending on your location. Overall, the system will be moving from the south to the north, so we expect initial impacts in the Arkansas River Valley, parts of the Ouachita, southeastern Oklahoma. Chance of snow by the noon hour up to 50%. I really think the best odds are going to be as early as 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and continuing at a pretty steady rate going into the evening hours. That's the River Valley in northwest Arkansas. Our timeline looks a little bit more delayed. You'll notice pretty low chances through the noon hour. Well, we start to see that probability of precipitation really begin to increase the second half of the afternoon going into the evening hours as those waves of snow showers begin to move into the area. Can this change? Yes, certainly can. So we're going to be on top of it, not only overnight tonight, but first thing tomorrow morning. We'll have the very latest timeline. That's our best educated guess at this point. Weather impact alert is going to be in effect all day tomorrow into Friday as well. Mostly snow expected for many of us. If you haven't caught some of my other updates, we have introduced the potential for a little bit of sleet. It looks like there could be a warm nose of air, a warm pocket of air above the surface, which could result in some sleet for a brief period of time before everything transitions over into snow. What do you need to be doing? At this point, the window to make necessary preparations is certainly closing. However, whether it's this evening or first thing tomorrow morning, you can get out, get you some last minute groceries, get you some snacks. A lot of people choose bread and milk. I've never quite understood it personally. I don't understand the idea behind milk sandwiches, but you know what? If milk sandwiches is your thing, best of luck. I think a lot of those shelves are somewhat empty right now. Hazardous travel is going to be a problem. So whatever supplies you need to make it through Thursday and Friday, and even potentially parts of Saturday, go ahead and take care of that first thing on your Friday morning. A winter storm warning in effect for a good chunk of the area. The only county not in the 5 News viewing area under that winter storm warning is Benton County. I don't think we're going to avoid all of the impacts in Benton County, but if you're wondering why in the world aren't we under that warning, well, I'll tell you this. There's a threshold, and it's 4 inches of snow in the forecast. Or even a potential of 4 inches of snow in the forecast. That's what the Weather Service uses to determine who's going to be in a warning or not. In full spirit of transparency, Joshua and myself have been looking at a little bit of data this evening that suggests that could change. It's possible. I'm not changing our forecast yet. But it's not out of the question that as data continuously comes into the Weather Center overnight tonight, into tomorrow morning, that we don't have to update the totals a little bit more. If that's the case, if the Weather Service updates their forecast, they'll place you under a warning. At any rate, you're going to see some snow. The question is how much. We maintain the idea that the further south you go, the more likelihoods are of accumulating in measurable snowfall. And when you look at the Winter Storm Severity Index, this is a product that came out a few years ago by the Weather Service, and what it's used for is to kind of cut through the clutter. We want to identify how much of a pain in the you-know-what is this system going to be? How much is it going to disrupt normal life? How big of a nuisance is this storm? And it gives us some categories. You'll notice here in yellow is going to be our minor impacts. Orange is going to be moderate impacts. Major impacts expected in the red. Of course, I'm going to show you our updated snow forecast coming up, and it looks geographically pretty similar to this. Lower amounts, measurable, no question about it, but lower in northwest Arkansas. We start to increase once we move south on 49, south of the tunnel into that 49-40 corridor, and then in parts of the Ouachitas, that's where we expect to find the most snow. This system is impacting a large majority of Arkansas. So one of the questions that we keep getting is, what's travel going to look like? Well, locally, of course, we're expecting problems, but even towards Little Rock, Hot Springs, Texarkana, Mena, Dallas, we're certainly going to have impacts. Heck, even Memphis is pretty close to that major category when it comes to the Winter Storm Severity Index. So it looks like those major interstates or highways are going to be an issue. Secondary and side streets, no question about it, are certainly going to be an issue. When you look locally, travel and closures, it's going to be high. You can count on it. It's not going anywhere. Extreme cold. The only reason I'm in the medium category is because that Arctic air mass arrived on Sunday. We've had a few days, several at this point, to acclimate, to adjust. We still probably should be dripping some faucets, especially overnight tonight into northwest Arkansas. You want to keep that in mind. Power outages, we got a lot of questions about power outages. I can't rule it out. there very well could be an isolated power outage. The other day we had a power outage and there was no actual weather moving into the area, right? Things can happen outside of the weather influence. We are looking at a pretty wet snow, which means it is going to be heavier, and that can add some weight to the power lines. But generally, they're made to withstand some heavy snow. It's the freezing rain, it's the ice storms that we see power outages, and thankfully, at least for the 5 News viewing area, so we're talking East Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, extending into the Ouachitas, we're not looking at freezing rain. I mentioned sleet, and sometimes there can be some confusion as to what the different precipitation types are, but sleet is a lot more like hail. It forms differently. It's a very different atmospherical process, but it's not freezing rain. Freezing rain is when it actually rains, just a straight old liquid, but there's a very thin layer, a very thin pocket of freezing temperatures at the surface where you and I are. So when that rain falls, it hits those freezing temperatures. It starts to accrete is the technical word for it, develop ice on all those surfaces. It's disgusting. It's one of the worst types of weather you could possibly have. That will give you widespread power outages. I don't think that's going to be the case this time. All right, with much ado, how much snow can we expect? We've updated this forecast this evening as new data came in. That gives us a little bit more confidence that a good majority of Northwest Arkansas will likely see at least 2 inches of snow. On the high end of that threshold is a 4. In the River Valley, parts of eastern Oklahoma, even extending into parts of Northwest Arkansas, really, we kind of moved that line up a little bit into Washington, Madison, even southeastern Carroll County. The data supports the idea of at least 3 inches of snow. 4 to 7 here in purple, we get to southern LaFleur and to Scott, parts of Logan County. And then even further than that, I think it's going to be our sweet spot. We get closer to Mena, where we very well could see 5 to 9 inches of snow. Those are the lower ends of the range. I'm not guaranteeing anyone anything, but sometimes, unfortunately, people will see these maps and they'll see these forecasts and they only look at this top number, and often those are the people that are disappointed. Often those are the folks that get their hopes up that they're going to get 4 inches or 6 or 7, and when in reality they probably end up falling closer to 3. So just for this full spirit of transparency, we're looking at ranges here, okay? It's going to be very, very dependent upon where those heaviest snow bands set up. It really only takes one snow band to result in some significantly higher amounts. But on average, it looks like a large majority of Benton, Carroll, northwestern Washington, Delaware, and Adair County probably going to see anywhere between 2 and 4 inches. That includes Centerton and Siloam and Bella Vista, Gravette, Decatur, War Eagle, Garfield, Avoca, Goshen starts to see a little bit more snow. We get towards Fayetteville. Fayetteville is really right on that line between 3 and 6 or 2 to 4. We'll see, right? 3 to 6 is going to be common in the River Valley, places like Fort Smith and Alma and Van Buren, Panama, Spiro, Chester, Uniontown, Cedarville, Greenwood, Hackett, Ozark, Charleston Branch, Cass, Watalula. I think maybe Cass probably certainly sees a little bit more just because of the elevation. I would include Chester in that. Winslow as well. We got those mountain ranges that we're going to see a little bit more. White Rock's right here. It's going to be really beautiful out there. I'm just confident of it. We get a little bit further towards the south. This purple zone, this Barney purple, 47 inches from Heavener through Waldron, maybe even Mansfield. Mansfield's really going to be on that differentiating line. Measurable, impactful snowfall, whatever it ends up being. I'm pretty confident in that. Magazine, Driggs, we get into parts of southern Logan County, close to Mount Magazine. Of course, we're naturally going to see more there, just given the elevation benefits that we're going to have at play with this storm system there. So this is the latest. Can it change? Yes. Will it change? It might. We debated a little bit of a change this evening, but we're really confident at this point that we're probably getting really close to the final solution. We're going to give some more hours this evening for more data to continue filtering in. If there's a need for an update, we'll make it. But right now, I think we're probably pretty set. Let's walk through some of the model data. This is going to be tomorrow morning at about 11 o'clock. This specific model thinks we might see a little bit of rain initially transitioning into that freezing rain. This is the only one that's actually showing that. I really think the benefit of this specific model at this moment is just to show you the timeline. What you'll notice, 2:30 tomorrow, a lot of us probably seeing some snow showers out there, some sleet mixing in, probably some heavy burst of snow out there on and off. Temperatures, though, are certainly going to be below that freezing threshold going into the evening and overnight hours. Road impacts will begin pretty much within an hour or so of the onset of precipitation. Just given the temperature profile, it's not going to take much for it to begin sticking pretty quickly. Sometimes we have events around these parts where it's got to snow for a couple of hours and you're okay on the roads, but it's 2 or 3 hours into the event. That's when you start having the impacts. We're not looking at that with this one. Temperatures are probably going to be supportive pretty early on in the event. How long does it last? Well, this is going to be 2:30 Friday afternoon. There's still some lingering showers in central and eastern Arkansas, but I really think a lot of us, I'll even back this up for you. Actually, Joshua, are you over there in the Weather Center? If you could just slide this back, this Futurecast back just a little bit. In fact, if we could just bump back to maybe 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I think perfect. Okay, so this is going to be 7 o'clock. We've still probably got snow falling. It may be lighter in nature. I'm not finding as many pockets of those dark blues, which would indicate to us some more moderate to heavy snowfall, but nonetheless, some snow. This is 5:30 in the morning. I'll step out so you can see that timeline. A lot of it's pushing out of the area. Road impacts are still going to be problematic for us on Friday, so just because it's not going to snow all day Friday doesn't mean we're not still going to be feeling the brunt of that system. It's a cold one out there. It's 27 degrees right now in Fort Smith, but with that wind, it's out of the west right now. It's somewhat light in nature, 6 miles per hour. It feels like it's 20 degrees. That wind chill is certainly something. Humidity values, that's kind of an interesting thing. Dew point is of 16, so relatively speaking, it's some dry air, but what we're really concerned about is these dew points and the humidity values as our Gulf moisture continues to build in. If you're a weather nerd, like a lot of us, watch the humidity tonight. It's 63 right now. I would venture to say by midnight it's probably going to be a little bit more. Dew points are probably going to be on the increase as that Gulf moisture really starts to stream into the area all ahead of our main event. 21 the current temperature in Bentonville. It's a live look over Walton Boulevard from our Jack Links camera. Winds are calm, so our wind chill values aren't any different than the actual wind itself. Dew point value of 14, humidity at 74%. Again, those numbers are probably going to be continuing. Here is a 7-day forecast. I'll leave you with this right here on 5 Plus, but I'll tell you, we're going to have a 10-day forecast coming up at the 10 o'clock news. You can watch that on Channel 5 on air via traditional means, or of course right here live on 5 Plus as we do it. Weather impact alert for tomorrow and on Friday. 90% chance of snow in northwest Arkansas tomorrow. We'll bump it down to 50 on Friday. The only reason it's at 50 on Friday is because it's not going to snow the entire day. A lot of it, again, wrapping up by mid to late morning at the latest. Stays cold the rest of the week. We'll see quiet weather, some sunshine. That's some good news. Highs, though, still trending well below normal for this time of the year. 30s and 40s. It looks like the warmest day of the week is probably going to be Tuesday under that sky full of sunshine and a high of 46 degrees. Weather impact alert in effect for the River Valley. 100% chance of accumulating snow tomorrow. We'll bump it down to also 50% on Friday, just given the fact that it's not going to snow all day long in the River Valley, but impacts will be felt all day long. It also stays somewhat cool going into the next several days. Highs trending well below where they typically are this time of the year, largely in the 40s. All right, now that is a check of your exclusive 5 Plus forecast. The full team's going to be here over the next 48 hours. We've got air mattresses. We ain't going anywhere. We're going to walk you through this winter weather event, the dangers of it, and we're also going to celebrate all the fun with it as well. We are your source for this winter storm. We'll keep you posted by the minute as new information comes in.